Greeting all my little Pokemons. Mewtwo with you again tonight because I was in the mood to be here. And I want to talk to you about a game. So it's a Game Thoughts kind of night. And I picked something that was, as far as I know, apparently universally unpopular, but one that I had a very soft spot for. And this does come down to being part of a story time as well. So not only are you getting Game Thoughts, you're getting story time. Talk about bonus time for the day. So, this game I actually still have my original copy of, and it's one that does very special to me. Here it comes. Here it comes. Yes, I actually really enjoy Sonic Spinball. Now, I can understand why there's a lot of hate for it. When it had come out, we'd had Sonics 1 and 2. We had Sonic CD. We were hankering for another good, flat-out Sonic game of some kind. We wanted a Sonic 3 or a Sonic CD2 or something along those lines. We wanted more actual Sonic games. And they gave us this. Now, I was pretty young at the time, so for me, I got my Genesis at the time that both Sonics 1 and 2 already were out. My Genesis was the original model, and it came with a mail-in thing to get Sonic 2 in the mail, which I did end up getting, so I had both of those to start off with. I never got a Sega CD, so I never got Sonic CD. Still haven't gotten one of those, so that's not a thing that's happened. It's on my list of do items. I wouldn't mind having a Sega CD on the shelf. There were a couple games I played at friends' houses that did kind of echo with me as things I'd like to own. But I digress. Don't have that. So, a little story time here with this one. So, I was a young little dit, not long after getting my Genesis, and I happened to be dragged along to the mall with my mother when she would go clothes shopping. So at this time, this is back whenever you shopped at, say, the Sears, the J.C. Penney, the Montgomery Wards for much of your clothing, especially if you're an adult, because they had a lot of nice things. Yes, we had a Kmart near us, but you didn't really go there for your good stuff. That might be where you get some of your B-roll clothes. Women at the time would go to the Sears and the Pennies and the Montgomery Wards and get what they needed to get. It's also still in the heyday of the Sears Christmas wish list catalog that we, from back in my generation, all too well know and loved and sorely miss. So, here we are. Mom's going her shopping her clothes often. Young child going with her, stuck in the mall with her. But, lo and behold, the Sears, it has a video game section. A video game section? In a clothing mostly store? Well, they did have electronics, they had TVs, they had appliances, but why not? So they got a small video game section. And they had some of the display units up, just like the game stores, like GameStops and Electronics Boutique and whatever else all billion game stores still existed at the time. We're now down to the one that bought most of the other ones. So they had like one of those Super Nintendo things with a dozen cartridges in it. They had a Genesis model up there with a bunch of cartridges in it, and most of those you'd play for a bit and it would automatically reset, which is annoying because I could barely get through Ridley in the Super Metroid one for reset, so I never actually got to play more than that part of that game. Too long of an intro. I mean, I love it and all, but it took up too long before you could get through it, so you'd never get a save spot past Ridley. However, for some strange reason, they had a third TV setup on the counter with a Genesis just plugged into it, a controller there. And what game was in that one, you may ask? Why, it was Sonic Spinball. So, these other two units would automatically reset after a short period of time. However, this one being just physically there, it was just there. So, little me would stand at the counter and play Sonic Spinball. And I had a great time. It had, from what I found, most of the good controls of, say, Sonic 2, like the spin dash. In general, when you're not being a pinball bot, you moved quite fluently. And when you were playing pinball, you had some control over where you went. Not 100%, but you had some basic control. You can aim yourself towards items and bad guys and switches. So you had the thrill of a pinball game, plus a little actual wiggle control. So for me, I was already on fire with this. I loved pinball. Rarely got to touch it because we didn't have any arcades near us. And even when I did get to them, finally it'd be like, pinball would be 50 cents. And Mom would send me with like 4 quarters and think, he's fine. 4 quarters, that's 4 games. You can play 4 games for that. No, that's 2 pinballs. I don't want to waste it on pinball. So I went for games that were a quarter because I knew the value of a quarter. So I never got to really play as much pinball, but I loved the idea of it. And this was pinball, but with Sonic control. I was into Sonic at the moment. I really loved that cute little hedgehog that was all sassy on screen. Hence why I really wanted a Genesis at the time. I do kind of regret not getting a Super Nintendo. I probably had a better time with it overall. But I did get the Genesis, and I enjoyed myself enough. So, I spent a lot of time playing this game in the store. And I really wanted it. So I saved up my money, and I actually bought a copy of Spinball. Now, that was well worth it. They had a good sales system. I think I even bought it at that location because that's where I played it the most, and I gave them my business. Unfortunately, most of these stores no longer had video game sections like this. In fact, most stores no longer have the display things. Every once in a while, you'll still see them. I know Walmart's used to have the Switch device up, but over the last few months, due to disease stuff, they've had them turned off, so kids can't play with them. Kind of a bummer, but really, honestly, what they were displaying wasn't the same kind of thing as the old style display cases with the Super Nintendo and half a dozen games plugged into it. That was just the bee's knees. You really had to try some games, which is something you couldn't do in most cases because there was no demos, there's no internet. You could look at the boxes, and half the time at stores they were in glass cases, so you could look at the front of those boxes. You could not see the back and actually read the descriptions of the game. You'd be like, Final Fantasy, Sword and Globe. Okay. Mario, I know what that is. I played one of him. I see Mario on the box, I know what I'm getting into. Mario. Everything else? Well, I hope they're descriptive pictures, because you don't learn anything else. But that little trial station really helped sell things. I wish they'd bring those back. For the PlayStations and the Xboxes. And actually put some good quality games in there on the Switch. Give us some things to try, kids. We want to learn things. We want to learn what games like. Besides the downloadable trials, the videos on YouTube and whatever. I like to know if I enjoy it. Not just if that one YouTuber enjoys it. Like this, I'm telling you about a game. I'm telling you as a YouTuber what to enjoy. No, I'm not kidding. I'm just telling you what I liked. I know my opinion isn't the greatest, but it's my opinion, and I'm here to give it to you. So, obviously, already, I bought this game. I liked it before I bought it. Um, Now, I really love the controls, and from level 1, the graphics are fun. You start off in a sewer level, and everything's all like sewery and grimy, and there's lots of things you have to smack into and break through. Very pinball-esque. A lot of targets, a lot of hits, a lot of loops, stuff like that. But still very Sonic. You're rescuing animals out of robot critters. You're collecting Chaos Emeralds to unlock the end of the level. In each level, you have to pick up all of the free-range emeralds in the level to unlock the boss. Level 1, I believe, was 3 emeralds. Not too hard. Um, level The other levels had varying amounts, so I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll at least go with what the levels were. Um, but you took out all the Chaos Emeralds, you completed the puzzles, whatever that would be, hit targets, go through loops, whatever, and you got the Chaos Emeralds. Um, most of the sections you had the options of um, if you fell down the middle, there was something to catch yourself with, either a platform or a bucket or something. So there wasn't just a guaranteed instant death. They did make it harder later on in the game where you got some of the emeralds, the bucket started moving back and forth. It wasn't just static in the middle. But, I mean, gotta give it a little challenge. And with the amount of control you have as the effective blue marble on the screen, you should be able to aim yourself for the flippers whenever possible. It took a lot more effort, at least in the early parts, to just accidentally fall. Um, Now, after this first level where you were in the sewer, you went to this volcano-y level. I don't remember what it was called, but there's all kinds of lava and stuff. There's a few less safety spots, but again, good control, so it's a lot harder to accidentally get dropped down the dead center. And as you move up through the map, you move up to different effective uh, boards for the pinball world, and there's a lot less chance of death the higher up you are. Good thing. Lots more bouncing, lots more emeralds to end up winding up getting. Overall, fun time. Uh, Next, you end up in a robo factory place. Again, a few less safeties, but plenty of, yeah, at least in the main section, plenty of bad guys to kill, plenty of weird things to pinball against. A lot of weird elements added in. A really cool techno-y vibe to the whole place. It had a lot worth going on. So, great zone to be in, more Chaos Emeralds, more cool battles, more stuff to do. Really Sonic-y, very pinball. Much love. And something I'd highly recommend, something I really enjoyed again. Final level, it got a lot harder. It was kind of a launch site level. I don't think I ever actually beat the game. I usually run out of lives here on this level before I complete the final tasks. Um, but it's a kind of a launch site, lots of fire and lava. Uh, Felt very spread out, a lot more up, and it got a lot more distracting at this point. You'd start losing track of where you were and what you were trying to do. Um, Still fun, but the first 3 levels were really the kicker for me. The last level was not as enjoyable, but it was still good. Um, in general, really, really good, solid, fun game. You just want to go and play some pinball action, and you happen to want to have control and have a little kind of progress to your actually playing pinball. Um, would I recommend it? Yeah, actually. I think more people should give it a chance more than just sloughing it off because it wasn't Sonic 3 or Sonic CD 2 or something like that. it was fun on its own. It had a lot of good elements to it. And nowadays, there have been several games that I found that had pinball variants. Like there's been Pokemon Pinball, there's uh, Kirby Pinball, Metroid Pinball. Everybody's going to get a pinball game if they wanted one, so give Sonic's Pinball game a chance. He did a good job. He did it before most of these guys did. He did it well because he already was a pinball. He just needed flippers attached to him. It's like Casino Night Zone, but all the time. um, anyway, that's my opinion on a less than popular game. Do you have any thoughts on it? Hey, did you play this game when you were younger or now? Um, did you feel similar to me, or like most people, thinking this game was just Toots McGee from the beginning and I should never even give it a shot? Uh, no matter what, let me know. I'd love to know how you reacted to it now, then, or elsewise, and see how we feel as a community. Yeah, there's a thought set for you. Some good excuse why you should comment too. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Don't forget to hit that little dingly bell. It makes YouTube happy, and it makes me happy, because that means you'll see my new videos whenever they come out. And Patreon link is in the description. Any money put towards that does help me make better videos, so I appreciate every penny put forward, and I will use every bit of it to do my best to make you a better experience. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you've been behaving like good little Pokemons, and I expect to see you all very soon. I do. Keep watching my videos, and I'll keep showing up. Goodbye, my little Pokemons. I'm watching.